I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again this week. The winds of change are being felt. We are live, man! Oh, my God, man. Texas was rocking and rolling tonight. Austin, Texas showed up big for All Elite Wrestling, man. Darby Allin and Ethan Page in the main event. Coffin match. First time ever. Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black with a unbelievable segment tonight. Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page. We got a nice little twist and turn on the way to Chicago. And what is Tony Khan planning for AEW as big news is circulating around AEW heading into their biggest show of the year? Jesse and I live tonight. It's Fyter Fest Night 1 right here for your AEW Dynamite post show on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show right here on Off the Script. It is July 14th, 2021. I am joined by my very good friend, Jesse. What is going on, brother? Can you hear me tonight? I am in parts unknown.
Right, yes, no, man.
There you are. There. It's nice to hear his voice. It's nice to hear his voice. This guy's been sending me text messages throughout the last 3 days. I've gotten them legitimately 24 hours after he sent them to me.
24 hours later and shit. JD, I need help quick.
He's like, you doing the NXT review? And I don't get it till fucking 10 o'clock in the morning when I wake up the next morning.
What the fuck, man?
What is going on, man? How you doing?
What a show, man.
Bro, listen. What I tell you last week, man? I know you feel it, and I know you're feeling it every single week like I am, bro. The winds of change are being felt in the air.
Ooh, it was.
And it's breezy. Let me tell you something, bro. It's breezy. It's nice and crisp.
It was already that perception that things are more upbeat and moving better and smoother on AEW. Now we're starting to just come to fruition, man. Now you just feel it now, man.
Yeah, it's really, bro, listen, I mean, I know how much you love Monday Night Raw, man. I think it's your favorite show of all time, especially recently, right, man, in the last, about 12 to 24 months. Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it's fucking thrilling, enthralling television. But all joking aside, you know, Tony Khan, there's big rumors going around that Tony Khan is going to load up all these shows from here on out, all the way through All Out. This is exactly what AEW needs. And I want to touch upon right at the top, because it goes with everything that we're talking about as far as the winds of change and just Dynamite finally becoming the show that we've all really expected it to become. And I still hear a lot of people, claiming that WWE is, firing all these guys and AEW's picking them all up and how they're all rejects and it's mostly WWE roster over there on AEW. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I can't wait to see what happens if the rumors are true, bro. And I know you mentioned this last week. There's only a very elite few that are the game-changing type, and Daniel Bryan is one of them. Rumor is really heating up, man. It's not to a point where I'm going to start believing it yet, but Daniel Bryan's name is being mentioned as the next guy that's in Tony Khan's pocket. How do you feel about that, and have you heard these rumors circulate in the last, I'd say, 24 to 48 hours?
I did. I did. I heard them earlier this morning, and for me right now, all Daniel Bryan rumors kind of just feel like any and all CM Punk rumors. I mean, we've been hearing them for years, man. So, until it happens, you can kind of believe it at your own risk, I guess,
Yeah, and a lot of people are really making this out of nothing. Apparently, WWE took Bryan away or off of projects that were slated to be coming up in the next couple of months. Now, that really doesn't mean anything. It could mean, obviously, that Tony Khan is in discussion with Daniel Bryan, number one, obvious right out of the gate. Number two, WWE could be planning something as far as the surprise goes, so they may pull him just to keep him out of everybody's eyesight, and, Daniel Bryan's name is not mentioned. Maybe we get them bringing him back to Monday Night Raw because they really need to build Monday Night Raw up and they want it to be a genuine surprise. Or maybe Daniel Bryan's just home saying, you know what, I don't want to be affiliated with anything. I just want to take care of my mental health. I want to be with my wife. I want to be with my kids. I want to be with my dog and my fucking garden of vegetables back out from in the house. That's all he wants to do. So, I think people are making a big deal out of nothing regarding Daniel Bryan, but if he does show up, like you said last week, he is on that CM Punk type level, game-changing for AEW, and I would be very, I would not hesitate to say, you know what, I think the war is over and AEW has solidly won it.
I mean, that's such a loaded statement. I don't think there's a war.
There's a war.
I don't think there's a war, man. I mean, I seriously think at this point you're just gonna have your elitists on each side. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if AEW put on 5-star shows for a year straight. There'll be a nice good chunk of people still sitting there saying how they suck and how WWE was better, and a chunk so big so that it make it look like that the wrestling world is divided. But it's not. It's just casuals on one side and hardcore fans on the other. So I mean, it was never really a war because they don't put on the same fucking product. AEW puts on wrestling and then WWE does something different. Dude, I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there, but it's just not the same thing. So it doesn't really matter, man. They can get Punk, they can get Bryan, they can blow the ratings out of the water, and there'll still be that same group of people saying how they suck. So it is what it is, man. You're gonna like iPhone or fucking Android. You're gonna like PlayStation, Xbox. You're gonna like WWE or AEW.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think you made a very solid case there, as usual. If let's dive into it just fantasy wise. If Daniel Bryan, because I was asked this question earlier, and I don't really know how to answer it. I don't think there's really a good answer for it. If Daniel Bryan was to debut with AEW as Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, how would you debut him, and when would you do it? Would you do it at All Out, or would you wait?
I want to get the biggest bang for my buck.
Yeah.
And as much as Austin, tore it down tonight, the last time I checked, there was no bigger wrestling crowd than Chicago.
Yeah.
So, and we got all kinds of 90-day no-compete clauses ending where they can throw all kinds of smoke and mirrors by signing a couple of mid-card guys that just got released, debuting them in the middle of that weekend because they got like 3 or 4 different fucking shows that weekend alone.
Yeah. And
you can still pop into Daniel Bryan and it just blew up the whole weekend. But, that's all speculation, man. I mean, what does Bryan want to do? If Bryan comes in, what would he be interested in doing? How much does he want to work and everything else? There's so many different fucking moving parts. What would I do? Right away, I'm putting in the fucking ring with Kenny Omega. Right away. Instantly. I mean, he can use opponents right now anyway.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll get to that because speaking of Omega, we got a nice little twist and turn in this storyline that I absolutely love, and it definitely throws everybody for a loop here. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, I agree with you, man. Chicago's probably the right place to do it. Throw him against Omega right out of the gate, and I mean, I think Tony Khan's in the situation right now where he's looking to make Chicago the absolute biggest show that they've ever produced. Coming up in September. And you know what? We'll both be there.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Not missing that one, man. I mean, we're looking at this should be the biggest pay-per-view of the year for live crowds. I mean, this is before SummerSlam, right?
Yeah. No, it's after SummerSlam, yeah.
After SummerSlam. We'll see how SummerSlam does. I'm not gonna, just 86 them because of how bad they've been. It's SummerSlam. Vince has been known to pull a show out of his ass when his ass is against the wall. Yep. So we'll see what he's got.
Yeah. I don't want to write off SummerSlam, but definitely this is going to be AEW's biggest show ever. Probably do their most pay-per-view buys ever. And like I said, Jesse and I will both be there. We'll have more information on that in the weeks to come. So look forward to that coming up very, very soon. But Jesse, tonight, what did you think of Dynamite show? We had a loaded show tonight. We had 2 title matches. We had a Coffin match, and we had a great back and forth between Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black, which I know you're going to have a lot to say in regards to that. But this show, man, it was a loaded show from top to bottom. It was a very consistent and concise show, and Dynamite has just really proven to be a slam dunk on Wednesday nights, especially the last 2 weeks. But the ratings haven't really showed for it, and they should be a lot higher than what they have been bringing in as of late. Are you concerned about that at all, or are you pretty confident that AEW is going to, keep putting shows on like this, and the audience is going to be there?
No, I don't agree. I'm not worried about the ratings right now because it's one of those things where, like with WWE, you can't put on 45 terrible shows a year and then put on a good 7 or 8 or whatever the fuck and then say, well, we had these great 7 or 8 shows, how come the ratings aren't up? No, you need to fucking reverse those numbers. You need a lot of consistent great shows. Ratings don't pick up overnight by one appearance. They pick up by consistent shows and getting characters over and long-term storytelling. And that's what they're getting into. And this is the start of it. So I don't care if they've been moved around from fucking Fridays to Saturdays to fucking midnight, 3 a.m. Nobody knows when they're fucking on anymore. So they're getting back to their normal schedule. They're getting their feet in the ground. They're getting back to live crowds. I know I personally have friends that just said they were interested in AEW, but they stopped watching all live sports, football, basketball, wrestling, and everything while there was no crowds.
Yeah.
So when they come back and these storylines keep picking up and these new characters keep picking up, AEW is going to do Monday Night Raw numbers easily.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. And there's always got to be somebody in the chat. I don't want to cut you off, Jesse, but listen, Shadow Maniac 78 in the chat. You've been with me for a little bit now. I think you know what you said in the chat is completely not true. I am not a hypocrite, and neither is Jesse. He says, hypocritical, you guys didn't want newcomers like Christian Cage. First of all, Christian Cage is not a newcomer. He is a 50-year-old legend that AEW brought in to fill the lapsed gap on TNT. Newcomers like Christian Cage should be facing Omega right away, but it's okay when Bryan comes in and does it. No, you build up through the ranks like everybody else. Let me tell you something, Shadow. Christian Cage is not Bryan Danielson. So that deads that argument right there. What type of comment is that? I'm putting Bryan against anybody over a fucking Christian Cage, man. You fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ.
There's you gotta learn how to. I mean, I forget what that guy.
Who draws more money?
You gotta learn how to rate your talent and book them accordingly. Somebody like Christian Cage has been out of wrestling and retired for years. Daniel Bryan is still an active talent as far as anyone is concerned around here, and him jumping over. Okay, for instance, all right, because I get what you're saying. I get what he's saying, because I was thinking about it as I said it, but I still stick with it because, for instance, and just for fucking instance, what if Roman Reigns jumps up and leaves WWE tomorrow, and he gets signed by Tony Khan, and he gets picked up? Are you gonna put him in a ring with fucking the Librarian on Dark?
Oh man,
what the?
No, you're not. No, you're not.
What the? I mean, no. No, you put them where they are according to where they are in the status of the wrestling community. And Bryan Danielson is top tier, dude. If Kenny Omega drops AEW and goes to WWE right now, is he going to be in the opening match on NXT? I mean, no. Neither was AJ Styles. For instance, AJ Styles showed up at the fucking Rumble at the top of the card within 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on who you're getting, man. I mean, certain people deserve to be on certain areas of the card no matter when they come into the company. Daniel Bryanson's at the fucking top.
There you go. Shadow Maniac, does that answer your question, bro? So, yes, Daniel Bryanson is a draw. Christian Cage is not. So, preferential treatment, bro. So that's how you got to do it. You give the spot to the one guy that is a fucking CM Punk type ratings mover. So that's that. Hopefully you understand that going forward. But yes, Dynamite was awesome tonight, guys. Jesse and I both agree we're going to go over the show tonight the best that we can, as always, here on Off the Script. It is Fyter Fest, and I thank you guys for joining me. We got 1,400 in the chat on a Wednesday night. I appreciate you guys. Super chats are open, so get them on in. Jesse and I will be having some cold beverages hanging out at the end of the show. So make sure you guys do that. Hit that thumbs up. We got 424 likes in the live stream chat right now. If you guys can kindly hit that thumbs up, let's try for 800 is the goal. I'm giving you guys till the end of the show to get 800. We are already halfway there. Also, go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. We got a lot of stuff. Monday Night Raw, NXT. We got Off the Script, episode 382 from this past weekend. Go and check all that stuff out. It is on the homepage right now, waiting for you if you missed it. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to go follow Jesse, his @ and his Twitter handle is right on the screen there. Go follow him as well. He was live tweeting tonight during Dynamite. And tonight's show is sponsored by the great Dr. Squatch. As always, man, drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. I know you guys love Dr. Squatch, and I will say my boy Hoolagrim is in the chat. It is Hoolagrim approved, and I love me some cold brew cleanse. I just started using their deodorant. It is awesome, and their shampoo is absolutely fucking phenomenal, man. drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Save 20% off. Don't be a smelly wrestling geek. That's all I got to say, man. And you won't if you use Squatch. So use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. Jesse, Dynamite opened up tonight with Jon Moxley. Man, oh man, was it good to see Jon Moxley tonight, man. He looked like a refreshed son of a bitch tonight, didn't he?
He did. I don't blame him, man. The guy's he's a first-time father, man. How could you? And he's back in front of... Jon Moxley's on top of the fucking world right now. He got his live crowds back. He has his first child, man. He has his beautiful wife. What can go wrong in his life right now?
Nothing. He's the face of AEW. I mean, he's got it all.
Got it all, man.
So he opened up the show with the IWGP United States Championship, defending that title against Karl Anderson of the Good Brothers. This one was very good to open the show, so good on AEW for starting with this match. This was really solid to open tonight's show. The crowd went absolutely fucking berserk for Jon Moxley, so that was awesome to see. And Karl Anderson and Jon Moxley, Jesse, they had a solid back and forth match. They worked very well together. And I do think that with these two guys in the ring opening this show with the great near falls that we had, I think the outcome was pretty predictable, but they gave you a nice little ride, and Jon Moxley got his momentum back after taking a couple of weeks off, having the birth of his daughter. And he is still the IWGP United States champion. We'll talk about how he got to the outcome of this match and retained. But I thought these two guys put on a solid show, and I thought they worked very well together.
Dude, they did. This match was, I mean, I was a fan of it from the go. I mean, and it's not the kind of match that you think that you might even want to see, or if you saw it, it would be anything spectacular. But I think you might be able to chalk 50% of that up to this live crowd, man. Yeah. I mean, and AEW bookmarked this show to fucking perfection. And the first person we see and the first music we hear is Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the show, who's standing tall? Darby Allin. I mean, the crowd fucking arrived happy and went home happy. This was the perfect fucking book show. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. That was a very good observation. This started right out of the gate with Kingston attacking Luke Gallows with a pipe before the match. Moxley took advantage of this distraction with Anderson. Match was underway. They were trading strikes right at the bell.
forearms in the middle of the ring. Clotheslines by Moxley got him fired up. Anderson was sent into the barricade before he blocked a suplex on the ramp and hit one on Moxley instead. They brawled into the ringside area from the ramp. Moxley returned to the ring with Anderson. Anderson hit a gun stun over the ropes to take advantage on Moxley, booted him in the face, knocked him back to the floor. Anderson hit his signature spine buster, which is always a beautiful thing to see, is Karl Anderson's spine buster. He went for a near fall there, got a two count. They fought on the top rope. Moxley hit a superplex eventually after overcoming Anderson. A counter exchange shot. Moxley hit a German. Anderson hit a big boot. Moxley came back with a clothesline. They both hit simultaneous clotheslines, leading to a nice double down by both men. Crowd was going crazy at this point. They did a very New Japan Pro Wrestling style back and forth counter exchange, which looked great. Anderson hit an air raid crash for a 2, and then he landed a diving neck breaker for another near fall. He fought out of a paradigm shift, which looked great. A nice little tease there by Moxley with the paradigm shift. Anderson got out of it, shrugged it off, hit a discus forearm, and then hit a gun stun, went to make a cover, and he only got a 2 count. Moxley fired up, hit his clotheslines out of the corner. Karl Anderson caught him with a fireman's carry, turned it into another gun stun for a very close near fall. Moxley countered a top rope gun stun, hit that with a ripcord lariat. Then he finally hit the paradigm shift for the win, and he retains the championship. Very good match between these two. And after the match was the great fucking just... I would say, I wouldn't say it was a great match between these two, but it was a great tease for what was happening. Jon Moxley was celebrating in the ring, and Jesse, Lance Archer, he showed up with Jake, and Lance Archer finally has something that he's going after, and that is the IWGP United States Championship. He mentioned that he took the title from him over a year and a half ago on January 4th, 2020. He said he's defeated Kenta, Suzuki, Yuji Nagata, and now Karl Anderson. He said it's time for his rematch, and he challenged him to a match next week in Dallas. And Jesse, Lance Archer is a Texas native, so it may be an indication that we may be getting a new IWGP United States champion next week. This is awesome. Take my money. I can't wait to see what these two guys do next week.
Yes, that will be fucking great. Take my money. Hey, speaking of money.
Whoa! Holy shit, man. I gotta play some music for this, man. Steven Vandelli with a $500 super chat, man.
Look at that. Let's make sure we dissect this message, man.
What is going on here, bro? My neighbors upstairs aren't gonna believe this, man. The fuck is going on? Please make sure Jesse gets half of this. In a world with enough negativity, why not share some positivity? Love you too. Even if we may not agree on everything, you two truly are the best duo in the IWC. Wow. Bro, that is unbelievable, bro.
For $500, Abaddon is criminally underrated, bro.
Bro, listen, I'll never mention anything bad about Abaddon again, bro. Seriously.
Nope, she's fantastic.
In fact, if we see her in Chicago, bro, we'll get her number for you and I'll fucking DM you, okay? Man, oh man, that is unbelievable. Vandelli, thank you so much, brother. You've been so supportive over the last couple of years, man, and it showed more and more as this year went on and we went through COVID and battled the pandemic, man. You've been here every single week. I'm glad to have you a part of my family, glad to have you a part of the team, man. We're only going up from here, brother. This is only the beginning, so I'm glad you're with me. $500 super chat by Steven Vandelli. Thank you so much, man.
Wow.
Awesome. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say after that. Jesus Christ.
Me either, man.
I lost my fucking track.
We can just reread that first sentence over and over a few more times.
Don't worry, you fucking geek. I'm coming to Chicago, bro. We're having dinners, man, all week. I got you. Man. Anyway, we were talking about Jon Moxley, bro. Well, Jon Moxley beats Karl Anderson tonight. Lance Archer finally has some sort of direction. I think the Murder Hawk is too good to be this directionless on AEW television. next week. Now, I know Moxley doesn't need that IWGP United States Championship anymore. He's already established himself as the face of AEW. I think that title would do better on Lance Archer and finally give him some direction, being that he didn't beat Miro for the TNT Championship. That's a nice equal balance. That's a nice medium for Lance Archer. Do we see a title change in his hometown next week?
No, there's too many fucking just random Roman titles around here. This FTW title and the New Japan's US title. What the fuck is going on here? I mean, is anybody able to challenge for that IWGP US title? I mean, anybody in AEW?
Listen, bro, it may be part of the Forbidden Door.
Because fucking Karl Anderson is fucking from Japan all of a sudden, apparently.
Who knows? It may be part of the Forbidden Door.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to fantasy book it when we don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know if Lance Archer has a Forbidden Door, clause. I don't know who is available to challenge for that. So I'm confused as far as what goes on with that. Most people didn't even know he was the champion until like this match came up all of a sudden.
Who, Moxley?
Yeah.
No, I don't know that he was.
A lot of people didn't know he was the IWGP US champion.
Well, I don't know. Listen, I don't follow New Japan.
Don't advertise it.
I don't follow New Japan, and neither do you. I mean, some of the audience that AEW has are, fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I wouldn't go that far that nobody knew he was the IWGP US champion.
No. A lot of people didn't know. I mean, some people knew, but not enough to the point where it was just a known thing. How many people were watching last night? Like, wait, when did fucking Moxley get a championship belt?
I don't know.
What are the rules? Who can challenge for it? Do they have to go to New Japan if they win it? Are we going to get talent come over here to challenge for it? I would like to know what's going on with that title.
Yeah, I wish I knew a little bit more about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think they have a show coming up in the United States sometime this summer. I don't know what's going on with them. He may have one of those Jericho Omega Bucks contracts that, states that he could go over there and participate in whatever they got going on. I don't know.
We know Mox can. And the Good Brothers came over from... was it fucking NWA, or Impact? So, I mean, they're already floating through that door too. But I mean, not everybody has that clause where they can go and travel and work. I don't think that's just a company wide thing where everyone can go do it. I know people like Cage and stuff like that. I know Brian Cage is still working the indies too.
He is, yeah. His next indie appearance, I believe, one of his next indie appearances. Don't know if it's the next one or the one after that, but Buddy Murphy's first indie appearance is against Brian Cage. Could that be an indication where he's going?
Yeah, he did just drop that FTW title too.
He did. So I mean, listen, I'm excited about this match. I think both of these guys are going to tear it down. We had Lance Archer recommend a Texas death match, so that could play right into Jon Moxley's wheelhouse. We may get an evil Jon Moxley next week. So I'm interested in it. I think we see a title change. I really do. Lance Archer needs something, bro. He's done nothing. You don't want him to become the next Braun Strowman here, bro. Or maybe Strowman comes in and fucking does a feud with Lance Archer. Who knows?
How many times has Moxley defended that title on the AEW?
Twice.
Yuji
Nagata and Karl Anderson.
Twice. Yeah. So who's this fucking idiot that says that he defended it so many times? Oh, good. Somebody already benched him. Okay, never mind.
And he's wrestled Kenta as well, but it was a match that happened, I believe, here in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So, yeah, twice on AEW television.
That was like a lights out match, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested in. I think Lance Archer needs it more than Moxley. That's all I'm going to say.
I know Archer had some success over in New Japan. Am I right about that? Before he started over here?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was pretty big. So maybe he, still has that ability too. And if so, God bless him, man. That'd be a fantastic feud.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens next week. I'm pulling for my boy Lance Archer, man. I think he needs something really tangible to sink his teeth into. So we'll see what happens next week against Jon Moxley. And this goes to what I said in the beginning of the show. Tony Khan is, loading these shows up with whatever he can do. So that goes into that statement. Absolutely. We got Alex.
I want to see Moxley lose, though.
It's a Texas death match. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We got Alex Abrahantes. He interviewed Andrade El Idolo. And you said last week he was the most well-dressed professional wrestler in the business right now.
Easy.
And I said he's better looking than Charlotte Flair. And people agreed. And then you put me to sleep by talking about your fandom of Charlotte Flair. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, man. Charlotte's still female. So, I don't know, man.
Charlotte Flair is going to be the new Raw Women's Champion on Sunday. How do you feel about that?
Doesn't make a difference too much, does it? Might as well.
No, it doesn't. All it does is solidify my fucking channel, my thumb getting a workout on my remote control.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, what else is going on over there, man?
I don't know, man. Maybe we should ask Rhea Ripley what's going on. Her career's fucking ruined. Anyway,
seriously.
Andrade said he's received permission from Tony Khan to kick down the door, quote unquote, and win championships everywhere. Andrade then held up a tablet, Jesse, and he asked, what is happening and where is the death triangle? He said he was looking for them. What does this mean? Are we going to get Andrade versus Penta? Are we going to get Andrade versus Phoenix? Are we going to get Andrade versus Pac? Seems like to me, Jesse, that this is... I'm sorry?
Looks like we get Andrade versus Pac over in the UK.
Well, whatever the case may be, bro, take my money on all three of these matches, man. If that is the direction that Tony Khan is immediately going to throw Andrade in to get his feet wet in AEW, that is fucking brilliant. Matches against those three guys are going to tear any house down on any continent.
Yep.
Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks, FTW title. This was an FTW title match, folks. I know this is not a recognized title in AEW, but here we are. I don't like it. Jesse doesn't like it. I don't really care for this match. I don't really care for Team Taz, and I'm sure Jesse can say the same thing. I had really nothing going into this outside that, or outside of the fact that I do enjoy Brian Cage's work. I do enjoy Ricky Starks and his work very much so. But I did not really care about this, Jesse. I don't know how you felt about this. It seems to me like these guys got off on the wrong foot for the first, 5 minutes or so, and then kind of picked it up at the end. But the crowd made a world of a difference in Ricky Starks winning the FTW title here tonight from Brian Cage as Team Taz kicks him out of the group.
Yeah. I mean, they'd already picked Ricky as their babyface for this match, and it made the Team Taz turn at the end that much more impactful. They spent the whole match cheering this guy, then he fucking turns, and now they want to boo him. So I thought it was great. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah. There was loud Ricky chants. He's a Texas native. That's why you guys seen the overwhelming love and support for Ricky Starks. Cage hit a press slam right away, manhandling Starks right from the start with his power and his strength. Hit a power slam for 2. Starks avoided a corner attack and targeted Cage's left arm. We went to commercial break. There was a little minor botch here where Brian Cage tried to hip toss Ricky Starks, and it ended up being very sloppy. So that was one of the things that I kept my eye on there. Once back from the commercial break, Starks hit a beautiful crucifix bomb for a 2 count. Starks rolled to the floor, grabbed the title. Cage booted him and drove Starks and his shoulder into the ring apron. Starks used some of his speed and his quickness to hit a clothesline on Brian Cage. Back in the ring, Cage fought out of a rear naked choke, hit an inside-out suplex. Starks eventually got his foot on the rope as Brian Cage went for the cover. Cage countered a swinging DDT with a thrust kick for a 2 count of his own. He went for an outside-in suplex from the apron into the ring. Starks countered and hit a beautiful sit-out powerbomb for a great-looking near fall. Starks was about to use the FTW title belt, but Powerhouse Hobbs stopped him from doing so. Cage took advantage of the distraction, hit an F5 for a near fall of his own. So Ricky Starks kicked out of the F5. Hook distracted the referee at the end of this match, and Powerhouse Hobbs, Jesse, hit Cage with the belt, and Starks hit the spear to win the FTW title. Brian Cage is kicked out, and I really like this because I think everybody in this group was holding him back. I think now, and Brian Cage even tweeted out during the show, this is going to be the true debut of Brian Cage in AEW, and I honestly think he's going to be better off without anybody and just being a solo act and really giving us the machine Brian Cage that we saw be so great in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, it is much better for him like this. It doesn't feel like it was working out for him in Team Taz. And this might be better for him. I mean, this turn to get him off to the right foot. I mean, it was a real solid turn, and he's got a lot of momentum going in as a babyface. So I think he's gonna do all right. I just hope he doesn't just end up feuding with Team Taz for the next 6 months. One at a time and everything else.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either. It's we already got that going on with Inner Circle and Pinnacle. We don't want to see that with Team Taz and Ricky Starks now. But he got the belt. I don't know if there's going to mean anything for Ricky Starks. Does this do anything for Ricky Starks as far as his career progression in AEW? Does this make him better than it was before the injury?
Here's what they can do with Ricky Starks, because he's on the projection, right? He's on the kind of projection right now where he can take over Team Taz and kick Taz out. Rename it Team Ricky. I'm not saying to do it next week or anytime in the near future. But while he's holding that FTW title, which is Taz's title, I think the next progressive step to make him an even bigger heel would be to kick Taz out.
Yeah, so, I could see that. Could you see Ricky Starks leading his own stable?
Yeah, I could. The only problem is too many stables right now.
Yeah,
too many stables right now. So I mean, if he's gonna run his own stable, fine. It's just this Team Taz shit needs to go away then. They can't split off into 2 more fucking factions like we just got with the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle.
Well, what does that mean for Hook then? Because Hook is Taz's son.
Hook is Taz's son. Hook can turn too. He doesn't have to be next to his father. That make them even more heel. He turned on his fucking dad. He get Taz versus his son in that match one day too. Why not?
I don't know about that happening.
No, why not? I don't know how if Taz is clear for any kind of physical activity, but why not? They have to be a main event to a fucking pay-per-view, but why not get in the match with his son one night, All
right, we'll see what happens with Team Taz moving forward. Apparently, Brian Cage is out. Like I said, guys, Starks wins the FTW title belt in a title match tonight against Brian Cage. And Brian Cage is going rogue, so we'll see what happens with him now that he's not associated with Taz anymore. The best part of the show to me was up next, and it was the second week of Malachi Black. Excalibur commented on the debut of Malachi Black last week, the former Aleister Black in WWE, as of literally 50 days ago or so. And this is something that I'm very excited about. It was probably our biggest podcast on Wednesday night last week with Malachi Black debuting. This was the one thing I was looking forward to most, is the follow-up to what he's got going on with Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes. So Excalibur commented on the debut of Malachi Black last week, saying that this is not Tommy End. This is Malachi Black. Now, I know a lot of people last week took issue with Excalibur already knowing what the name of his new character was going to be. And Jesse, it's amazing. And I don't fault people for this because, a lot of people don't spend a lot of time on the internet. But Malachi Black, Tommy End, whatever you want to call him, he went viral about a good 8 or 9 hours before Dynamite even aired last week. And that's why Excalibur was so in tune with what was going on with Tommy End. A lot of people didn't understand that. So I had a lot of people telling me, how Excalibur ruined his debut last week. I don't think that's the case at all.
It kind of goes back to what I said before. Some people are just going to complain. Like if they would have mentioned nothing about it, if they'd have been sitting there like, who is this guy? Yeah. Who is this guy supposed to be?
Yeah.
They would have been sitting there like, well, how do you not know who Tommy End is? Or how do you not know his name is Malachi? He just released a fucking video 6-7 hours ago. You know, so it doesn't matter. You're not gonna make everyone happy, dude. But I think Excalibur did just fucking fine.
He said Black isn't the man any of them knew before, and noted that he was in a released video on social media revealing his new personality. So they said Arn Anderson is going to be okay, and all of a sudden, Cody Rhodes walked out with no theme music and nothing but anger. He walked to the announce table and he put on a headset, cut a promo aimed at Black. He called him Tommy End before mentioning his new name. He touted his kickboxing experience, and he said he understood that Malachi, coming into AEW, has a chip on his shoulder. You want to be a franchise player by beating a franchise player. I get it. But you don't do that around here, and you don't kick a 62-year-old legend to make your point. Cody said he didn't feel like he was making his point well enough, so he took a microphone and he walked to the ring. He says he's feeling very boisterous tonight, and he doesn't want to, go into every fight thinking he's going to win it, but he's got a better chance of when he is knowing that it's coming. And this might be an abuse of my power here in AEW, but I'm calling Black to the ring right now because it's Fyter, and I feel like fighting. So we see Aleister Black, Tommy, and Malachi Black show up on the big screen inside the venue, and he said fans were cheering him, kicking Arn in the face last week because they care about violence more than they care about him. Black said he once knew a man who killed his prized horse because one day he noticed it wasn't the same horse he once was. He said the horse had become crippled over time, so he let the horse go with dignity. He said that they gave him a bag of treats, put a bag over his head, and then that's it. They did it, meaning they killed the horse. He said when he looked in Cody's eyes last week, it wasn't there anymore. Cody yelled that he should come to the ring to take a better look, if that's the case. Lights went out, and Excalibur yelled, not again, not again. The lights came back on, and Malachi Black was standing in the ring. They went at it. Black and this is the one point I made on Twitter, Jesse. Black was wearing, obviously, a black suit, black dress shirt, and a black tie. Obviously, he's Malachi Black. But Cody was wearing an all-white suit. So you got the white suit from Cody. You got the black suit from Malachi Black. The contrast in colors here was fucking attention to detail perfection. You got Cody wearing white, meaning, you know, it's angelic. And then you got the evil, the devil in Aleister Black or Malachi Black wearing all black. I thought that attention to detail was fucking perfect. It's the little things like that that get overlooked so easily by a lot of people that are watching these shows. And they brawled and they went at it. And the referees and securities and producers, all these guys came out to separate them, and they went to a quick commercial break. This was easily the best part of the entire night for me. I thought Cody was on his fucking game as far as the way his energy was projected at us after the events of last week. The lights going out with Malachi Black is easily going to become a thing, man. It's not cringe like The Fiend, but I love that he's just, you know, the lights go out and he's just standing there in all black and he's got that fucking Undertaker vibe going on about him. This was fucking phenomenal. And dude, I'm getting chills talking about this and thinking about this match already for Chicago. This is going to be, and we said it last week, a star-making performance for Malachi Black. This guy is here, and this is going to be it for him, man. This one match with Cody, this entire storyline is going to show everybody in WWE what the fuck they missed out on and how it was a major mistake letting him go.
It is. It's getting off on the right foot. You know, I'm always, you know, understand how Cody's just thrusting themselves into storylines, and then I can kind of stick with that here because I'm still not sure why Aleister showed up and just fucking murdered Arn Anderson. Why did he show up and just murder an old man? I really don't know. You know, but it definitely gave Cody, you know, reason to come out and be pissed. So, but on the surface, it seems like the feud was started, you know, for just reason. But I mean, I'm still kind of waiting for Black to tell us why he did what he did to that guy. You know, he just could have came out and murdered Cody in that sense. But yeah, I guess it solidifies him as a heel because you can't do that and be considered anywhere near a babyface.
Well, let's touch on that because I know you mentioned something on social media tonight. I seen it while we were watching the show because I have no service where I am in parts unknown right now, so I couldn't text Jesse like I usually do during these shows. Malachi Black is, you know, obviously Cody is an EVP in AEW. The reason why Malachi Black attacked Cody Rhodes is because he wants to come in and make a huge impact, and no better person to do that against than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is heralded as AEW's version of Triple H. He's got a huge chip on his fucking shoulder. So I really want them to really, you know, dive into that and really hone in on that as why he is attacking Arn and attacking Cody. But you mentioned something tonight on social media about Malachi Black. He is not getting heel-like reactions, bro. And this guy right now is so over with the audience that you said something that is absolutely inevitable at this point.
Yeah. This feud is definitely turning Cody heel. Now, look, I don't hate Cody. I don't like where his booking is going versus the way he comes off on TV. So a solid heel turn for Cody right now puts Cody at pretty much the top of my list in the company because he would draw such awesome heat. Yeah, I think it was QT Marshall said earlier too how He said something about Cody having the golden shovel. So it's already being said about how this guy is just burying people. You know what I'm saying? It's not just me thinking this shit. So somebody say you're someone with a golden shovel, that you're just known, dude. You're known for burying folks for no fucking reason.
Or maybe they're just watching this show and hear us talking about this week after week after week with my co-host here.
Could be, or maybe we're not the only ones thinking it either. I mean, he is coming off as very entitled. He puts himself into the important stuff and he puts himself over too much. So he's clearly not going to win this match, so I'm not worried about it. But he cannot be in this as a babyface. It's going to have Roman Reigns and, pre-2020 dynamics going on. It just makes no sense. Nobody wants to see him win this feud match or anything about this fucking situation.
What'd you think of the presentation with Malachi Black in week 2 with the backstage vignette, with him standing in the dark room with the mist flowing about around him and then showing up in the ring with the lights going out and he's standing there? Do you like the presentation so far? Because I'm absolutely I think they're nailing everything about this guy's new character.
Let me tell you what I appreciated about this segment. Because I'm gonna be honest, the story he told was fucking completely boring as shit as far as I'm concerned. I'm here to watch fucking wrestling, not listen to these fucking stories. But
it's got a point though.
Crowd, this fucking guy was spitting this storytelling mode, and the live crowd was fucking dead silent. Everybody was listening to every damn word he had to say. No one wanted to give him grief. Nobody wanted to say shit. I can kind of hear someone started a what chant, and you can hear the rest of the fans fucking blew that shit out and stop it out.
Listen. I hear you. I agree with you. They were hanging on every word. Aleister Black is a great promo. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Okay, nobody really appreciated him in WWE. Bruce didn't do it. Vince didn't do it. Nobody appreciated him. Some of the fans are saying, "Oh, he's overrated. He's a fucking, he's a nobody. He's a bum." These people are fucking absolute brain dead idiots. I don't want to hear about those people ever again. But the reason why that was, and the reason why that Aleister Black said what he said and the crowd was hanging on every word, you got to give Cody credit where credit is due. The reason why everybody was listening to Black is because of the major debut last week and what he did. And Cody Rhodes came out there fucking heated already. So they see a heated Cody Rhodes, and then they see Aleister Black. They're like, oh, shit, Cody's fucking fuming right now. What does this guy got to say? So they were sitting, you got to give Cody his props, because without him being the way he was and how he usually, this is Cody at his best. When he's like this, it makes everything around him that much better.
It does. I mean, we all know and agree Cody's not the best in the ring. Cody can go. Cody can hold his own. But if you start putting him in, the same category as the talent that's currently surrounding him, he's not going to be put in the top tier. But he is probably one of the top 2 or 3 storytellers in a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what makes his matches so interesting. All of the promos leading up to said match and the story that they tell in his matches. Nobody can deny him that, dude. He can tell one hell of a damn story in the wrestling ring itself.
So we got this match heading towards All Out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a fucking banger. No question. It's the one match I'm looking forward to so far going into All Out. Black versus Cody Rhodes. And I'm telling you, man, Aleister Black is here, or Malachi Black. I gotta get used to his new name. I keep calling him by his old employees' names. But this guy, or his old employers' names. But this guy is gonna make a difference, not in the ratings, but he's gonna make a difference as far as what he brings to the television show on Wednesday night, and you're already feeling it. He brings a sense of legitimacy. He brings that character that is, very rare in wrestling nowadays, and he's doing it his way, which is great. You get to see his creativity just fucking shine through. Then you're working with somebody like Cody Rhodes, and you mix all that together in one big bowl, and it's going to be a fucking unbelievable match that I think we'll be talking about years from now. His debut match in AEW against Cody Rhodes at All Out. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Tully Blanchard backstage. He was walking into the venue, and Alex Marvez was there, asked him about taking a cheap shot after their win last week. Santana and Ortiz were sitting there on some production crates as he walked in laughing. Says he's got the biggest target on his back, so you got some balls to walk into this arena without your boys behind you. So Ortiz held Tully as Santana wound up threatening him and threatening to hit him with a crowbar. So he takes the crowbar to his face and revealed that the crowbar was actually plastic. It was fake. Tully looked very scared, and they dropped him to the floor. Santana said, "Look at you. Go find your boys. And when we see you next time, the crowbar is not going to be fake. It's going to be real. So Tully was yelling at them, picked up the crowbar and said, don't worry. When I get my boys, you just wait and see what happens. This is going to be a fucking another barn burner of epic proportions. FTR versus Santana and Ortiz. I'm here for it. Give it to me. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. We don't see FTR that much on TV, man.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. So I don't know if it was you that asked me last week or if there was someone else during the week that asked me, where's FTR? I don't know. Maybe Dax is injured. Maybe he's got some knee issues, and they're waiting to see how that progresses there. I don't know. But they're being, I think it was you last week. They're being treated like some legit fucking top-tier guys, man. You know, they don't wrestle every week. They got a damn good fucking schedule, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the schedule they get. Who knows?
I don't know, but I can't wait to see these two teams go at it. The next segment, Jesse, was probably the second best part of the show, in my honest opinion. Schiavone was in the ring, and he introduced his guest, Adam Hangman Page. And this was a follow-up to last week, where we got the first tease of Page and Omega possibly at All Out. So Page came out. He was looking happy. No drinks tonight. No cold beverages for the Hangman tonight. He came out with a very serious tone. Page says since day one, he said he wanted to be AEW World Champion. He said he came so close, he could smell it, but he failed. He said he tried to run and hide from it, but the Dark Order is right. He still needs that championship. He said here tonight, he will challenge Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship. And Don Callis comes out and says, you are not here and you won't do anything as long as we are here. He says he's going to be spending a lot of time talking. He was joined by Nick Jackson, Gallows, Omega, and Brandon Cutler. Nick Jackson says, you're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy. Matt says he's going to say something right to his face, and he marched to the ring, smiling, about to be a prick to Adam Hangman Page face to face. He asked if Page remembers him. We were those best friends that you abandoned, remember? He said it still blows his mind that he left them for a bunch of losers. He says his breath indicates he's still hitting the bottle. Says that fits the narrative perfectly. A sad, drunk cowboy. Said he has no one to blame but himself. You are the next great wrestling tragedy, is what Matt Jackson told Page. He asked if that makes him want to hit him. When he said he doesn't have the balls, Page hit him. So that was it. Omega entered the ring with the title belt and was about to hit Page from behind, but the Dark Order ran out immediately to make the save. Page looked down at Omega at ringside and he says he came for a match and he's not leaving without one. He wanted Omega's word that this match would be happening for the AEW title. Omega says, they can do that. I can do that for you, buddy. But he offered him not a title match, but he offered him, Jesse, a 5-on-5 elimination match with the Elite versus the Dark Order. Page smiled and said, listen, I came for a match, but this isn't the match that I wanted. But if that's what I have to do, I will do it. He said after they win, not only do I get my World Championship match, but these guys, the Dark Order, get their shot at the Tag Team Championships and the Young Bucks. Omega started to yell that they didn't earn that shot. Callis was whispering something to him because Omega was clearly angry. Omega said, all right, that's cool. Fans were chanting cowboy shit. Omega entered the ring and said, he makes a lot of demands for somebody that doesn't have any power here in AEW. He said if they win, none of them get title shots. He asked Page to walk away and tell his parents about all that he's accomplished to this point, but it ends right here. Omega said that they miss 100. If you miss 100% of the shots, or he said if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, you don't fail either. He said what Page fears is failing in front of the fans. So a loud cowboy shit chant started up again, and Omega told everybody to shut up. He's like, hey, shut up. I'm over here talking, not you. He said he'll take an extra measure of pleasure when cowboy shit turns into belt collector chants. Omega said if Page is cool with that, then they are too. And Page said the Dark Order doesn't back down from a fight, so you guys are on. Jesse, this was a really good segment. This was something that I did not expect from AEW as far as this storyline goes, but it's a nice twist and turn here. And all I have to say is I love it. But when it boils down to it, two things here. Number one, it makes the Impact Championship match against Sami Callihan on Saturday night that much more important. Because I think that match is going to have a real factor in what we see happen to Omega on AEW television. If Omega loses the title to Sami Callihan, I could see him starting to lose on AEW television. I don't know how likely that is. I don't know how hurt he is. I don't know where this Forbidden Door storyline is going. But that match is now even more important than it was just a couple of weeks ago. Number two, if Omega does beat Sami Callihan, why would anybody expect Kenny Omega to be pinned in this match and the Elite lose to Hangman and the Dark Order? So then that means if that's the case and Omega's not pinned, the Elite wins and Adam Page doesn't get his championship match at All Out. What do we do then? So AEW has created quite a interesting aspect to this entire storyline.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's something that's gonna cross too much, because if you think about it, they're not pushing this Sami Callihan match on AEW television at all, really, which is odd to me because I thought there's supposed to be some kind of cross promotion and everything like that, but they don't really mention it that much anymore.
Yeah.
So they can go into that match, have it. He can drop a title, come back, and they can never mention it.
Yeah, but he would physically be losing a championship. He comes out with all the championships. Somebody's gonna have to mention, well, he's not the Impact champion anymore.
Yeah. He can still have a bunch of titles at the same time. I don't know. I think this is. I mean, they've already called Hangman a loser and everything else, so that pretty much solidified him winning this title for me. They're not gonna call him all of this shit and then have him lose again. That's very counterproductive. And plus, he's already lost his title shot once. He can't come back, make this redemption run, and then come back and get the fans hype and then lose it again. If Hangman does not win this title this time, man, it is gonna be a very fucking a very uphill battle for him to get up through to get the fans' trust back again, man. He's over as fuck right now. It's time to pull the fucking trigger. He paid his dues and he waited. It's time to pull the trigger on Hangman. It's time to let him go, man.
So you're advocating for AEW to pull the trigger on Page in Chicago. What if Page doesn't make it to Chicago?
Well, I mean, that he has to in order to get to the result that it looks like that they're heading down. This is a way to get them there, but I still get. I mean, going through all of this and having Hangman come up short is going to be very detrimental to this babyface run he's on right now. He can't keep losing, man.
Well, I don't. On one hand, I want to agree with you. It definitely makes for a good discussion. On one hand, I want to agree with you, but on the other hand, that would make, and I may be overthinking it a little bit, that would make two storylines on AEW television overly predictable. Now, overly predictable is not in any way, shape, or form a bad thing. If the story is good, the overly predictable doesn't really bother me. But in this case, we got MJF and Chris Jericho, and Jericho running the gauntlet of MJF to eventually get a match between the two at All Out, with MJF hopefully winning because Jericho's going to go over all the tests and the trials and tribulations that MJF is going to throw in front of him. Then we got this Adam Hangman Page situation. Don't you think it's a little predictable with the MJF Jericho thing and the Adam Page situation happening at the same time, going towards the same pay-per-view? If Page is standing tall with the Dark Order over the Elite, don't you think it's a little too predictable on top of what I just mentioned with Jericho and MJF happening at the same show?
Well, think about it like this. Every AEW world title change has fallen under the predictable column.
Yeah. It has.
All of them. From Jericho to Moxley, from Moxley over to Kenny. I mean, we've all, felt it coming. It was about that time. The mood has changed, the momentum is shifting, and it was about time for that person to be champion. And I'm feeling the same thing right now for Kenny and Hangman. I don't think those two storylines are any way connected as far as them being predictable and things like that. Right now, Hangman is just the natural flow of where things are going, and if he loses it now, even if he loses it, the rematch is coming, so it's like they're just prolonging it, and now they're just making that moment even worse. when you're not going to get any better than the live crowd, Chicago, all out, Hangman finally prevailing. That's just it. It's just his time, man. It is just Hangman's time to win that title. And I can't see any situation less than that is going to lead to just Hangman getting another shot and redoing this shit again, or Hangman becoming a 2-time loser for that title. And
so you don't think that
what else is left?
You don't think that Tony Khan is thinking about Full Gear for Page? You don't think that Tony Khan's thinking All Out is too soon?
Why he wouldn't have booked it? And then
we don't have anything concrete yet.
Up to it saying how he's a loser and all he does is lose and everything else. That he wouldn't have booked it.
All right, well, I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't asking the questions. What if Page loses? What does Omega do it All Out?
Who knows, man? Does Daniel Bryan
come?
Because it was all signs are pointing to him and Page.
Does Daniel Bryan really come in? Do we get Bryan versus Omega at All Out?
Possible. Maybe they go down that route. You know, and maybe that's why they booked the match, to try to get out of Hangman. And now that you put it like that, they booked this match.
I don't want to listen.
Title shot without having them lose.
I don't want people in the chat to start thinking that JD's falling into the rabbit hole of all these other fucking idiots making these incredulous rumors out there. But it's got to be in discussion because his name is being brought up more and more and more. And now with this match being booked, a 5-on-5 elimination match where Page, I'm not giving him an automatic win. There's a big possibility that him and the Dark Order don't win. He doesn't get the championship match. I have to ask the question, if Omega beats Page in this 5-on-5 elimination match, who knows when this match is going to take place? We got 6 weeks till All Out. What if Page loses? Who does Omega get it All Out? You got to ask these questions.
That would be, look, if Bryan is coming in, this would be a way to get Page out of this match without having them lose the title match. And then the match never happened. Well, now people are pissed because we're not getting Hangman and Kenny. Well, if Daniel Bryan's coming in, then fuck Hangman and Kenny. Because if that's not happening, then back to that same question, then what is Kenny doing at All Out?
I don't know. That's the fucking part that's getting me. Christian?
Oh God, no, man. Stop.
Christian Cage?
No, stop. No.
I could ask the same thing about fucking Page. Who does he get it All Out?
Clearly, we're getting ready to get Cage versus the fucking Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. I don't know. But these are the things you got to be asking yourself.
Yeah. Well, they put that match in there for a reason. Now, maybe it's to get the Dark Order some shine. I do like the shine the Dark Order.
That was exactly where I was going to take my next question to you. Yeah. With this match now being booked with Page and the Dark Order against the Elite, I know you mentioned quite a few times on this very show that the Dark Order seems directionless. This seems to be a very good direction to get them back in the spotlight by putting them in an elimination match against the Elite.
This is good. This is very fucking good, man. They're over, and they will always be over. And now they get some shine in the main event picture. They're all going to get eliminated one at a time, obviously. But, the crowd loves them, man. So you just can't bury them and keep them in comedy stuff. Now they're showing some serious side. They're back in their horse.
Yep.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, this is good. Somebody gets to go over and beat the crap out of Johnny Hungry and get some good heat, man. I know it's fucking good shit. Speaking of heat, man, oh my fucking God. Don fucking Callis, man.
I know. He's always been good, but the fact that live fans are back in attendance, man, his act is going to be magnified even more so because he's just a natural heel magnet. He really is.
That was so good. It made me fucking tinkle down my fucking head. He just lit. They fucking hate that man. That was fucking great. Loved it.
All right, here's another thing that I'm going to throw out there, dude, because I talked about this with Hoop Media before. What if the Elite take it into their own hands, being that we got 3 EVPs on this side here for the Elite? You got Omega and the Bucks. What if they go about it in the most heel-like way and they take the cheap way out and I don't know if a count out or a DQ gets them involved here and gets them out of this situation. Maybe they do something, very sly and sneaky the very, very heel-like way strategy. I don't know. What could they possibly do to weasel themselves out of Page getting a championship match? Maybe it doesn't even factor into a pinfall.
Maybe. They booked this for a reason.
They did.
It's for a reason. Now, could it be to get Hangman out of this title match without having him lose it? Maybe. It could be used to help get him to get further sympathy to get Hangman even more over because of, what could end up happening to the Dark Order on this path on the way up to the match. Maybe the Elite just fucking destroys the Dark Order and it really pisses off Hangman.
Yeah.
They're not just being thrown in just to throw them in. They have a role to play in it. But it's kind of hard to tell when we're not really sure what direction they're headed to when we get into All Out with Kenny. And so if they're going to stick with Kenny and Hangman, then it seems to me that the Dark Order just needs to be fucking just obliterated and just smashed and really piss off Hangman and really, really give him a more motive to try to get back into this because they had support for him and they had faith in him. And then all of a sudden, the Elite just murdered them for no reason and they really pushed them into the red.
Well, listen, I thought this was a very, very well-produced, executed segment. Okay, I love the intensity of Page. I think Omega is right now at the top of what he's doing on AEW television as far as his heel work. The Bucks have been fantastic. Don Callis is a heat magnet. I like this 5-on-5 elimination stipulation. Normally, when we talk about these types of stipulations and, Page asked, well, if we beat you, you got to give us championship matches. And then the heels agree and they don't really do anything as far as a counteroffer. I don't know how many people picked up on this, but the counteroffer for the heels is, well, if we beat you, you ain't getting jack shit. So, the fact that they actually rebutted against Page kind of made it great because they didn't come off as fools. Usually the heels say, oh, all right, I'll give you a championship match, whatever the case may be. And they came back and say, all right, if we beat you, you ain't getting jack shit. So, yeah, you're on.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. This was a great segment. There's a lot of questions. This is exactly what Tony Khan wants. He wants you guessing. He wants you, not knowing where they're going next. This is just a great AEW segment. And I'm very intrigued about what they do. And like Jesse said, this is going to enhance the Dark Order after so many wasted months of not doing anything. And since Brody's passing, they haven't really felt important. This is going to put them back in that spotlight again.
Yep, I agree.
Marvez interviewed Jericho backstage about the MJF stipulations that he laid out last week. He said the 5 labors of Jericho didn't surprise him because MJF is a wise and learned man. But if MJF read all of the Greek mythology, he would realize that after Hercules won and got what he wanted, and that's what will happen to him. He says he doesn't care who MJF puts in front of him, Superman, Black Panther, Muhammad Ali. He will take them all out, walk through fire on broken glass to get to him. He says he's the God of thunder and the God of war. So pretty much more of the same from Jericho last week. Shawn Spears came out of nowhere and jabbed Jericho right in the throat with a steel chair. Jericho went down. He grabbed his throat, selling it. MJF walks in very casually, sat on the couch next to Jericho as he was choking after this chair shot. He said Spears is his first labor next week, and the stipulation is that Spears can use a chair and Jericho cannot. Spears then jabbed Jericho's arm with the chair. MJF laughed and wished Jericho luck next week against the chairman. What do you think of this, Jesse, as Shawn Spears is Jericho's first opponent? No DQ pretty much for Shawn Spears, and Jericho has a handicap against him next week.
Yeah, pretty predictable as far as what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
But, it's the first step, and let's see where else they go with it. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me. Okay, if Jericho can't use a chair, that don't mean the rest of the inner circle can't. They can come in and beat the crap out of them with chairs.
Yeah.
No DQ.
Well, listen, I would not put it past Jericho to find a loophole in this bullshit labor of Jericho storyline. So if that's the case, you called it. So we'll see what happens next week. But again, I love this storyline because it's going to get Jericho a nice momentum, give him a nice momentum going into the pay-per-view where he's eventually going to lose. No, I don't think anybody believes Jericho's going to beat MJF. So this is a great storyline for all involved.
Yes, it's going to be good. Again, there's so many different instances in AEW of long-term storytelling. Think about it, man.
Yeah.
How many different feuds right now are going on with long-term storytelling involved versus what we normally get when you get like a week of written TV.
It's amazing what passion and a solid 2-hour show can do every week. It's great. No 3-hour Monday Night Raws, booking bullshit, and fucking depleted roster over there. It's great what you could do for 2 hours once every week. I love it. What I didn't love, Jesse, is Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy. Listen, man, Christian Cage, he's been decent. Okay? I'll be a Matt Hardy fan till the day I die, but I just don't care about what is going on here, man. The quicker that this ends, the better off it would be for both guys. And ever since Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Jurassic Express got involved with Christian Cage, and the tease is out there, and the feeling is in the air, is out there that Christian may turn heel against Jungle Boy, and we may get a match with these two guys at All Out. I couldn't wait for this fucking Matt Hardy shit to be over. And it wasn't a bad match tonight between these two, but this was clearly for the old school lapsed fan who seen these guys 25 years ago doing their thing. That's all this was for. No more, no less.
Yeah, no, I mean, this Matt Hardy feud just seems like a bump in the road. I mean, I was getting really interested when he was backstage trying to give Jungle Boy pep talks and everything else. And, Luchasaurus was kind of skeptical of him. And now, Jungle Boy is skeptical of him. Matt Hardy is just here and nobody wants it. So I don't know where they're going with this one, but I just want to get to Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. That'll be a really interesting feud with Cage turning heel.
And before I get into the match and how this transpired here between Christian and Matt Hardy, congratulations to Matt and Rebby, who just had their 4th child together. Crazy. Yes. Absolutely crazy.
Good times, man. A lot of our next generation of wrestlers coming out, man.
I know. Listen, man, Rebby was actually on social media last week arguing back and forth with Jim Cornette. I don't think that's a battle he could win.
No. Stop.
You don't want to get. You don't want to.
What the argument was about? He is not going to win that one, dude.
Oh man, a lot of people say Jim Cornette, doesn't have anybody to stand toe to toe with him on Twitter with a war of words, man. I'll take Rebby Hardy any day of the week over fucking anybody, man, to go against Cornette.
Fuck that, dude. She is like the fucking Eminem of fucking Twitter wars, man. Yeah. She will fucking kill you on Twitter. No.
And the shit she knows, man, who the fuck knows what she has in her back pocket, man?
Jesus
Christ. Anyway, Christian, we went to commercial break here. Christian avoided a dive and floated over the top rope. He was hanging on. He followed up with a diving uppercut for 2. Hardy went for a twist of fate, but Christian fought out of it, hit a spear, got a very close near fall off the spear. He then hit a neck breaker over the ropes, followed by a frog splash for a near fall. Hardy then perched Christian on the top rope and kind of laid into him with some right hands, followed by a superplex. Hardy was too slow to cover, so only got a 2 count. Christian then cradled Hardy for 2, went for the kill switch. Hardy grabbed the referee and hit a low blow right in between Christian's legs. Referee was out of the vantage point, obviously. Hardy followed it up with a twist of fate, and Christian kicked out. They rolled to the floor where Hardy locked in his leech submission finisher, his new submission finisher. Hardy rolled back into the ring as the referee counted. Christian made it back in the ring at 9. Christian then counted the twist of fate in the ring, turned it into the kill switch for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, the Hardy family office, Private Party, and TH2 surrounded the ring. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus ran out to make the save and backed up Christian Cage. When's the heel turn coming, Jesse? Because Christian is turning on Jungle Boy, and we're getting a match at All Out, and it should be a damn good one.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe this garbage is over and maybe they can go ahead and get to it. I mean, you can see where they're going with it. They're already, planting the seed. The seed's already planted. You can see them starting to bud this week.
Yep.
And now that this Hardy thing is out of the way, let's see what that little look was all about. That Jungle Boy was giving Christian, and he was mentioned on commentary too. He looked like he didn't trust him, and maybe he was almost a little bit jealous that, Luchasaurus was carrying him. And I don't know. It's a little weird look, though.
I think we get one more match between all these parties involved. I think we get a 6-man tag. We get Christian teaming with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus against Matt Hardy and Private Party. Christian got the win here tonight, but I think Matt Hardy gets his victory back. Christian snaps, turns on Jungle Boy. And that's how we get through 6-man tag. What do you think?
It could be. It could be. I just don't want his turn to have anything to do with the Hardy family. You know, how can you be in Matt Hardy's stable and his finishing move is called the Leech? You know, don't you kind of feel like he's exposing himself as being a leech to his fucking his family?
I didn't even pick up on that, man. That's a good observation there. You know, you gotta ask him.
Matt Hardy is our manager. His finishing move is called the Leech.
Yeah, his new submission move is called the Leech. Great.
What the fuck? I don't trust this guy.
I don't know, man. That's a good observation there, but. Let's see what happens next week. We got Christian and Jungle Boy clearly heading towards something, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, I would say. That's the most interesting thing to me. Hopefully they pick it up in the weeks to come, going to All Out. We got a promo with Miro. He talked about being lost, but a voice came into his head and reminded him who he was. It was probably his wife, CJ Perry, and was probably also God, saying, yes, my son, I took you away from the evil Vince McMahon, and I'm placing you with the Angels in AEW. So somebody was talking to him. Clearly, that was a fan of Miro. He said he forgave everyone he destroyed in his path, which made him God's favorite champion. He held up his TNT title and said it was his reward. I am the Redeemer, he said. And Jesse, he held up a white and green TNT championship, and I love the white. I gotta admit, I'm a black TNT title guy, but the white looked fantastic, and it reminded me of that old school WWF Intercontinental Championship. So that looked really, really sleek tonight.
That was a very gorgeous title. Very. I'm not sure why they changed it again so soon, though.
I don't know. He's the Redeemer.
But that is a gorgeous title.
Listen, man, he's God's favorite champion. God has granted him with a white, prestigious TNT championship.
I love that line for him.
He's God's favorite champion.
Yeah, that is just so I mean, that is just so arrogant and just fucking blasphemous. That is so good. It's so good, man. I like that.
I actually may take that and label off the strip God's favorite podcast.
Man, you should. And it's just so.
There you go, Salrex. Get to work,
triggering.
buddy. Get to work, man.
Yeah, that's so triggering and just, yeah, I like it.
Next up, we have Tony Schiavone interviewing babyface Britt Baker tonight. DMD. She's a babyface, Jesse.
Quick question: which tunnel did she come out of?
She came out of the babyface tunnel.
Wrong. Try again.
She came out of the babyface tunnel.
She did not.
She came out of the baby face tunnel.
She did not.
Bro, listen to the reaction, man. She's a fucking baby face, okay? Give me a break.
Okay, look at the reaction to Alistair.
All right.
Is he fucking baby face too?
Might as well be.
He just murdered a senior citizen.
As well be. You're over here claiming Cody Rhodes is going heel, so what would that make Alistair?
You can't murder senior citizens and still be a baby face.
Bro, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. She's a dentist, bro. All dentists are heels.
Okay. So you just fucking scared of Isaac Yankem, bro.
Bro, I'm scared of the dentist.
No, this is what I like about AEW. There's no more battling on who's heel or babyface. Which fucking tunnel did they come out of? And there you go.
Whatever. Nyla Rose and Britt Baker, man. Who's the babyface and who's the heel?
Oh, Nyla Rose is definitely the heel. Nobody likes Nyla Rose.
Well, there you go.
That's like you put Roman in the ring with a fucking with a unlikable babyface. Who's the babyface now?
Nobody likes Vicky Guerrero either.
No, not right now. No, and now I think they botched her, man. They had her with Andrade. Then they put her in the ring, and she made it look stupid and everything. They botched this Vicky thing.
Yeah. And Britt Baker came out and talked about her title defense next week against Nyla Rose. And that's going to be on night 2 of Fyter Fest. Shivani mentioned that Nyla Rose put her through a table, and now everybody is concerned about her well-being. She said she's dealt with a lot before, and the blood stopped, the wounds healed, and she came out and ended up being the baddest bitch on the block. She said there's no fear in her eyes, She said, what's daunting is keeping Nyla Rose dominant. She said what a big letdown it was that Nyla was her first challenger. Yeah, you ain't kidding, Britt. Holy shit. That Nyla was her first challenger. It's a big letdown. She admitted that Nyla beat her multiple times, but now she is in a league of her own. She mentioned that she stands out on the menu all by herself because she is the special of the day. So somebody was giving... Adam Cole Bay must have been talking about Titus Catering before, man, and inspired Britt Baker about this promo. Talking about menus and catering and fucking food items. That was good there.
Dude, if Adam Cole don't get off his ass and get into something meaningful, he is gonna be the fucking the Bobby Brown of that relationship, dude. He's just gonna be Mrs. fucking Adam Baker.
Listen, bro. Don't disrespect Bay in my presence, okay?
I'm just saying, he gotta do something, man.
Listen, leave Bay alone, man. He's doing his thing. You know, you got to enjoy him now because when Bruce gets a hand on him, forget about it. It's all over.
He is leading this fucking company's women's division, and he's over here fucking feuding with no charisma Kyle.
Who?
Fucking uncool Kyle. What the fuck is... I mean, what is he doing over there, man? This guy should be leading his own fucking TV show.
Who the
Monday
fuck?
more Monday. He's not touching shit on fucking Fridays, but he should be doing something, man. He's not doing shit right now.
Who knows who he's feuding with? He's feuding with fucking O'Reilly. He's feuding with Joe. Who's he feuding with?
Yeah. They don't know. They don't know. Next week he'll be on a different show and they won't explain why. He'll just be on Raw. You know, he get traded for Liv Morgan or some shit. Who knows?
So she said she's in a league of her own. She told Vicky that she will only be remembered because she has a last name that will forever keep her relevant.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not lying.
Not lying.
She said Rose needs that belt to have any significance in AEW. She's wrapping it around her waist next week, and it's staying right where it belongs. She said she's still Dr. Britt Baker either way. She was on fire during this promo, man. Good to see her in front of a live crowd, just to feel that energy and hear that energy. But you can tell Bay is working with her on her promo skills, man. She was not this way a year and a half ago. She has transformed herself into one of the best promos, not only in AEW, but maybe women's wrestling, period.
She went from stumbling over her feet in the ring, stumbling over her words in the microphone, and I don't think she could not have gotten any better than where she started from right now, man. She controls the microphone, she controls the crowd, she learned how to control the crowd that she's at. This is pretty much her first real major live show, you know, since getting as over as she is. And she knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. She knows what a hard camera is. She knows where to hit her spots. And she knows how to control the crowd.
Yeah.
She can't do anything wrong right now.
Yeah, she's hitting all strides, and it's good. It's great to see Britt Baker just continuing to get better week after week, man. It's a beautiful thing to see. We got, after Baker, we got Jon Moxley. He was pacing around backstage. He accepted the Archer challenge. He said he survived him in Japan and in Jacksonville. He said he'll never stop coming after him. He said he isn't the hunted, he is the hunter. He said there's only one boogeyman in New Japan and AEW, and it's him. He said, this isn't just Texas bred. Next week, he'll be Texas dead. So there you go. Moxley's words towards Lance Archer. He's not going to be Texas bred next week. He'll be Texas dead. There you go. We got Sammy Guevara versus Wheeler Yuta. Do you know anything about Wheeler Yuta, Jesse? Because I've never seen or heard about this guy before, period, in AEW. I know you typically watch Dark. I don't know if you've caught up on it lately, but apparently this guy's got a winning streak, and he's with the best friends over on the AEW Dark programs.
Yeah, the guy has something, man.
You know who he looks like to me? He looks like Mansoor. This Yuta.
He does look like Mansoor. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I need to see more of him. I don't want to jump on the Yuta hype train because, you know, there's a lot of good word and good vibes coming from him. I want to see more of him. But from what I saw, I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far.
Well, I don't know how far his ceiling is in AEW. I mean, Mansoor ain't going nowhere on WWE, but I don't want to, steal this guy's fate already because he looks like Mansoor. But I mean, what I seen from him in the ring was okay. I felt like this was just a way to get him into a wider audience, putting him on Dynamite and putting him in a match against someone who is more likely than anybody, the most over guy in AEW right now, Sammy Guevara. Sammy was flawless tonight. This was awesome. This was 5 minutes, and he got him with the GTH for the clean win. A bunch of really great, slick-looking athletic maneuvers from Sammy. Moonsaults and flips. He was in his show-off mode tonight. Flawless, like I said. He gets the win over Yuta. This was nothing more than a showcase match on Yuta's end and a squash match as it pertains to Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. I wanna make sure we give Sammy a curve on that crowd reaction because he is at home, sorta. So I mean,
yeah, he's a Texas guy.
Yeah, he's a Texan. He's at home, but nonetheless, that's how it's very telling on how he's coming out of this feud with Pinnacle and everything else. He is coming out as a rock star.
Yeah.
If there was one person that Jericho made in his run with Inner Circle, it's definitely Sammy Guevara.
Yes, absolutely. Sammy Guevara, I could see give him less than a year. I could see there's no reason why he should not be in discussion for the TNT Championship. What is Miro doing at All Out, bro? Do you see Sammy versus Miro at All Out?
At All Out, no. I mean, I would like to see more build, but I guess it's not too late. But they have to get started right away, and he's still tied up with everything else going on, so not yet. No, they gotta spread some of these pops out, man. You can't crown all of these different, super baby faces in one show. They gotta spread this. They got a lot of programs to go through, man.
You know what I wish they wouldn't spread on Dynamite? Joshi's.
Oh boy,
I don't want Joshi's on my show.
Wait. The comments of JD are of JD and JD alone and do not reflect the views of me at all.
Oh, everything I say, Jesse agrees with 100%, including his dislike for Lee Johnson and Julia Hart. He says it all the time to me. He says, this guy's a bum. This guy shouldn't be on Dynamite. This guy's overrated. He said this live on the show.
Mine is already out there. Feel free. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Charlotte's his favorite female performer. He doesn't like Britt Baker. These are facts, folks. These are facts. Anyway.
Get into your Joshi comments. Go ahead. My disclaimer is still valid. Hurry up.
Penelope Ford against Yuka. What's her name, Jesse? Sakazaki? What's her name? Well, what's her name? Joshi? Magical Girl is her nickname. Can we get Alexa Bliss on this show to perform magic and make her disappear? That's what I want to know. 7 minutes.
Yuka, do not cancel me. Do not cancel me.
Nobody's canceling anybody here, bro. Okay? Yuka Sakazaki wins in 7 minutes, bro. This is a top-tier question, man. This is the most important question I ask you all show. Do you care? The answer is no. Okay, moving on. Jesse loves Joshi's, by the way.
I love all Joshi's.
There you go. Okay. Just letting you know there. Jesse loves Joshi's. I don't. I think they're terrible. Get them off my TV. Good thing we don't have Maki Ito on the show. Oh, you fucking simps out there. AEW's going to sign Maki Ito. No. The show's so much better off without her. You fucking simps. Anyway.
Hey, we can talk about Io. I love Io.
Io. Listen, this guy's poking the bear right now, man. He wants me to say it. Io is not a Joshi.
What?
There you go. Take that and fucking lose sleep over it, you fucking simps. Okay? That's what I do. Moving on to more important matters. Nobody gives a fuck about Joshi's here in the United States. If you do, I don't want to be you, man. Go find a fucking hobby. Ethan Page versus Darby Allin, Jesse, in a main event match that was supposed to happen last week, but didn't in Miami. This is the first ever Coffin match in AEW history. Now, I was excited about this, and I knew this was going to be a train wreck from the word go because Darby is a fucking glutton for punishment. But it ended up being very solid, and I thought this was great. Darby defeated Ethan Page tonight in the main event. Any more feeling, Jesse, on Ethan Page? Do you feel any differently towards him after this match? I like his presentation. I like his attitude. He was looking very Undisputed Era-esque with the black and yellow tonight, which I couldn't help but notice. But do you see him coming along as a guy that you could see in the upper mid-card level of AEW?
After this match, I do have a much higher appreciation for Ethan Page. Definitely, man. This match had no right to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, Darby's Darby. So, and again, this goes back to what I said, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. Darby can wrestle with a fucking broomstick, dude.
Yeah, you can.
It does not fucking matter. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Page, because like I said, I have a higher respect for him after this match. This match was fantastic. And you put Darby Allin in a ring with someone who just knows what the word wrestling means, and you're looking at an incredible match. You know, that's all he fucking needs. But also, this Ethan Page match it further examples what I mean about Scorpio Sky. I mean, it just feels like Sky's bringing Page down at this point.
And that was my next question. Sky was actually in the coffin at the start of the match and popped up and attacked Darby to give Ethan Page the advantage. Is it at a point now where Ethan Page is absolutely pulling away from Scorpio Sky? Does he even need him to be a man of the year? I don't think so.
He doesn't. Not only does he not need him, it's bringing him down. AEW is stacked with tag teams right now. At any given moment, they can pull a tag team off of Dark and make them tag team champions within a couple of weeks, and nobody would blink an eye. You know, the Acclaim hasn't been on Dynamite in I don't know how long. Put them on TV for 2 straight weeks and then put the titles on them. Nobody will say shit because they're over as fuck. There's just so many other tag teams, and I mean, Private Party. They're sitting around hanging out on Dark waiting for their moment, and they might have one coming up now, but they don't need Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky as a tag team.
No, they don't.
And Ethan Page just seems to be doing very well by himself.
Yeah.
So Scorpio Sky, man, again, Frankie is doing all right as well, but still, I will put him back with Frankie and let's let Scorpio Sky run with the gimmick that Frankie is doing, man, because it's just not working. Singles as a heel babyface, as a tag team with someone else, put him back with SCU. That's when he was fucking beloved.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Ethan Page is quickly, I don't even want to say slowly, but surely quickly moving away from Scorpio Sky, showing everybody that he doesn't need Sky at all. The coffin was brought down to the match. It was a lot larger than I was anticipating, which was great. It wasn't Yokozuna Undertaker level size, but it was big enough to make a real impact in the match, which was great. The casket was brought down to the ring. It was placed at the side of the entrance ramp, and Allin attacked before the bell. He took off his jacket. He revealed a steel plate, a la Bret the Hitman Hart Goldberg back on WCW Nitro during the Monday Night Wars. Not to that extent, but Darby Allin came prepared with some steel that was wrapped around his back, hit a coffin drop for good measure. Allin then landed a tope suicida that nearly killed him before he was actually getting this match started. Scorpio Sky then popped out of the coffin because Darby wanted to throw Ethan in there after the suicide dive. Scorpio Sky popped out, blindsided Allin. Sting came down as an equalizer to even the odds. He repeatedly sent Sky into the barricade, and Sting missed a stinger splash in the fan area. Sky celebrated on the railing, so Sting then obviously bounced back up and took a trash can and knocked him off of the barricade there in the crowd, pretty much crotching him on one of the barricades there. Page was then sent into the audience by Darby. He landed hard on the concrete. Allin pulled a Jeff Hardy in this match, jumping off a railing, but Page caught him, threw him into some entrance steel there on the ramp. The steel steps were then introduced to the fight. Page dropped Allin over them. Allin briefly escaped and dove at Page. So we got a portion of the match here back in the ring. Most of this took place in the fans on the outside. When they were back in the ring, Page had taken the bottom rope apart. So he unhooked the beam that connects the turnbuckle pad and the steel post. So he took that off, and he hooked Allin's neck with the hook part of the steel rod that connects those two pieces to the turnbuckle and the steel post, put it through the loop in Darby Allin's necklace that he was wearing, and pulled him so hard down that he choked him out, and he broke the necklace at the same time, which looked fucking great. So that was that. That was a brutal spot. And then Allin came back with the same goddamn piece of steel and put it in Ethan Page's mouth, almost like he was fucking gutting him like a fish with this goddamn hook. The sight of it was just brutal, but they played it off great. He then drop-kicked Page into the Coffin. They exchanged strikes in the Coffin. They're fighting up in a vertical base in the Coffin. Page hit some strong right-hand slaps. Allin then bit Page's hand. Page backdropped Allin to the floor, and they were fighting around ringside. Page came up busted. I don't know what from, but apparently it must have been the steel rod that they were using in the middle of the ring before. He went for a fireman's carry throw off the top of the stairs. Allin fought out of it, hit a stunner. Page cut off a coffin drop attempt and hit an avalanche Ego's Edge, which is his version of the Razor's Edge, on top of the steel steps that were in the ring. Part of the steel steps were bent because Darby went through it so hard. Allin countered an apron suplex by gouging Page's eyes and then biting his face. Allin then picked up the skateboard, went to the top rope, and did an assisted skateboard stomp off the top rope. That sent Page into the Coffin. Allin then went to the outside, closed the casket, the coffin, whatever you want to call it, and he won the match. That was it. After the match, Allin, Jesse, goes to the top rope. The coffin is placed perfectly, lined up with him and the turnbuckle and the steel post. He jumps off the top of the fucking turnbuckle, off the third rope, and hits a goddamn coffin drop through the top of the coffin onto Ethan Page, and that's the way the show goes off the air. So it looked better than Jericho's fall off blood and guts, I'll say that. But, man, oh man, he left himself no room for... What if he missed? What if he missed?
What the fuck is he gonna do now?
Dude,
what the fuck is he doing?
That was what I was thinking. What if he was, I don't know, 6 inches to the right and he missed?
Bro, what if he would have hit the corner of that fucking coffin, Luke? My God.
He's got no fucking care for his own body.
Oh. This guy's fucking nuts, dude.
It was a great match, though, man. I mean, it's everything you want from a standard coffin match on television. It was brutal.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It definitely wasn't a casket. You know, it was a coffin.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You know, it was a casket-like structure.
Yeah.
It can't be a casket match. It's a coffin.
What do we get with Darby at All Out? What would you do with him at All Out? Obviously, he's going to be there in some way. I think this has to be a solid. This is it for these two after this.
Yeah, I would say that. Where does he go next? I don't know. I want to see him go back with Miro in front of a live crowd.
You want to see him beat Miro?
No. Go back in another match against Miro. I didn't say beat Miro.
Oh, well, I mean, he's got to go over at some point. No,
I don't know, man. Miro's hot right now. They just gave him a new fucking title too.
I know.
That's the thing. Maybe that's why they don't have an opponent for him yet, because whoever you pair him up with is going to have to eat an L, man.
What does Ethan Page do? You can't discredit Ethan Page. Ethan Page is the last couple of weeks, man. He's been a standout guy on this show.
Yeah, but he just lost to Darby. He can't get a title match in a couple of weeks.
I'm not saying them get a title match, but what are you going to do with him? Obviously, he's got to move on from this. What do you do with him next?
He's got to get him away from Scorpio fucking Sky, man.
We'll see what happens.
That's what you need to do. I mean, otherwise, just stick them back in the tag division and they'll go nowhere. Are they going to beat the Bucks? No. Are they going to beat the team that beats the Bucks? No. What are they doing?
It's amazing. I'm sorry.
Sky is holding them back, man. I mean, maybe they didn't know that at the time, but I mean, clearly there's one person in this tag team moving a little bit faster than the other, and the other just going nowhere, man. They've already made, 2 drastic changes to his character, over the last year, and it looks like they need a third because it's just going nowhere.
You know what I wish happens here? There's a lot of guys on this show that could be champion, TNT champion. There's a lot of guys that need some sort of momentum. I would love if Tony Khan introduced a King of the Ring style tournament. I really do. Whether it happens on Dynamite, whether it happens on paper, I would do a G1 or a King of the Ring style tournament. I would make it their own for AEW.
They could, and they probably will. I mean, but they just have so many, moving parts right now with new shows and live crowds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Might be coming soon too. Who knows? But they have a lot going on, and man, everything is looking just so positive for AEW right now, man. I mean, the number one thing you need as a new wrestling company is a TV deal. After that, you need fan support. And good God, man, they have fan support. They are selling out shows. Crowds are so happy to be back in wrestling again.
Bro, this show was sold out, 5,000. I think next week's show sold out. A lot of the shows that they've got coming up on the East Coast and the Carolinas, they're all sold out. I believe the Charlotte show was sold out that they're doing in a couple of weeks. New York is on its way to being a sellout at Arthur Ashe Stadium. So, for everybody that's saying AEW isn't, pulling its weight here, they're clearly showing everybody that is completely false.
Yeah, I don't listen to those people because again, they are first off, AEW is not a perfect company. No company is fucking perfect and flawless. So that being said, if you just don't like them, you're gonna find something that is negative about them at the time and try to accentuate it like it being a bigger issue than it actually is.
Yeah.
You're just not a fucking fan. Don't try to push that off on others and try to make it seem like that they're not as good as they are. They're doing well, and they're doing well. That's why you hate them so much. They're doing very well, and they're not perfect. God knows WWE isn't perfect, but that's why you hate them so much, because they're doing so fucking well.
Yeah.
Same reason with you. Why you get all the fucking hate that you get, man? You're doing fucking well. I've been seeing the fucking idiots and all this shit that you don't talk shit about people who mean nothing.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the matter, man. They don't. So if they're talking about you, you're doing something right.
And AEW certainly is. But tonight was a great show, guys. I appreciate you hanging with us and talking what was a fantastic Dynamite episode. And they're hitting their stride. All Out is shaping up to be a legendary night for AEW. And I can't wait to see how all of this unfolds. But I thank you guys for joining us for the podcast section of the review and the live stream. If you guys want to hang out, I'd love to have you. Jesse and I are going to go over these super chats, man. So make sure you stick around if you want to. We need 800 likes in the live stream chat. We got 720 right now. So let's get that number up to 800, guys. That is the goal tonight. Super chats are open, so get them on in. We already had a Steven Vandelli $500 bomb. Guy is unreal, man. Vandelli. And we're going to go over the rest of them right now in just a little bit. But hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to follow Jesse, his ad is on the screen right there as well. Go follow him on social media. Go check out Dr. Squatch. They are sponsoring tonight's show, drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. And go pick up your Summer Scam t-shirts, man. They are now on sale at bonfire.com. The exclusive home of JD and Off the Script. Let's start at the top with these super chats. Let me pull them up here. YouTube likes to always give me some problems, but what else is new? Let's start at the top here with the first super chat of the evening coming from Chemo the Therapist with a $5 super chat. Internet trolls like to say Malachi Black will job to Marco Stunt in 2 months. Marco Stunt doesn't even wrestle anymore, and he's barely on Dynamite. Well, the internet trolls have the IQ of a fucking can of seltzer. Chemo. So don't listen to them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And why would anybody... I mean, Marco Stunt is an easy target. Do they have anything else as far as creativity goes? I mean, how many times has Marco Stunt been made fun of because of his AEW affiliation? Come up with some new material. Nope.
They have nothing else. Like I said, I mean, they'll find something and try to run with it, man.
Yes, Marco Stunt is small. Thank you for the, the observation. You fucking idiots. Thank you. Gregory Benson with a $4.99 super chat. JD, are you looking forward to Kenny Omega versus Sami Callihan Saturday? I think that's going to be an awesome match. Yes, Sami Callihan is a guy that I am very high on. I love Sami. He's been very Very pleasant to me in person outside of shoving me over and putting his boot in my face. That one hog show. But Sammy Callahan can main event any pay-per-view, any show, anywhere in the world. That's how good he is. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I will be tuning in for sure. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Will Adam Page lose his title shot next week? We don't know if it's next week, Michelle, but Jesse doesn't seem to think so. I think that it's a little bit more open-ended. That's just my take there. Tony Brown with a $4.99 super chat. JD and Jesse, it's amazing. Monday nights, I fought to stay awake watching Raw, a.k.a. really awful wrestling. I'm wide awake, ready for OTS. That's what WWE does to you, bro. And that's what AEW does to you on Wednesday night. 2 hours flew by this evening, bro. Flew by.
Yeah, dude.
Nate with a $4.99 super chat. Can't deny tonight's night 1 of Fyter Fest was amazing. Night 2 looks stacked as well. Hey, Jesse and JD, you guys make our Wednesdays. I appreciate you, Nate. Thank you, bro. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. Easily the best Dynamite of the year. AEW hit a home run. They absolutely did. Mr. Donnelly. A lot of people joke, well, how can every show be the best Dynamite show? I don't know. Why don't we ex Tony Khan? He seems he's doing a fantastic job. Booker of the year, by the way, for 2020. He's doing something right. Marcus Thomas with a $5 super chat. I was not a fan of Darby at first, but it took 4 straight months of TV to care about the character. AEW did a great job of booking him well. Not only him, bro. Look at what they've done with MJF, Jungle Boy. You know, those guys, Sammy. The smaller guys, man. You're looking at the future. What you saw tonight in the main event, Darby Allin, he's the future of AEW. It's a great thing to see. Wales with a $10 super chat. I respect the passion, the grind, the work ethic. Thank you for being you, JD. To quote Will Hobbs, who better? Or is that Brian Cage? Question, would you ever consider adopting a segment on OTS with live call-in viewers? No. I do not want anything to do with live call-ins and phone calls on OTS. That would be a disaster waiting to happen. Other people do it. Listen, other people do it in the community. They do it. That's good on them. They got these silly little gifts that they got going on, and they got these funny little skits that they got going on for all these call-ins or whatever the fuck's going on. You know, donations. They do the gifts, then they do the phone calls at the end of the show. It's not me. First of all, I like a professional presentation. I don't want to muddy the show up with fucking gifts that you find online. And number 2, if I open up the phone line for callers, it's going to be a troll haven.
Yeah, I used to hate that, dude. The live callers, when you guys used to stop and acknowledge the fucking live callers, that just ruined the whole flow of the fucking show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the reason why I stopped doing the super chats in between. I save them for the end. If you guys want to be here to hang out, you hang out. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow. But I will only do phone calls once I get to Sirius. So we'll have fun with that then, hopefully. One of these days. Magician Sapphire with a $10 super chat. Hopefully a win in the Texas Death Style match is the start of AEW writing the booking of Lance Archer. Well, we talked about that tonight, Magician. I'm predicting a Lance Archer victory next week over Jon Moxley. Jesse is not.
No. You get I think guys like Hangman, Moxley, and guys like that who are ready to hold the AEW title right now if need be, MJF, you gotta keep guys like that protected and strong at all costs. I mean, just in case Kenny gets hurt, things change, this and that. You get somebody just like that you don't have to build up to put the title on. They're ready to go at the main event.
There you go. Indigo with a $10 super chat. Hey, JD and Jesse, much respect. I bought my ticket this morning for the September show. I'll see you there, brother. I'll see you there at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Excited about going to my first ever event. Texas brought it. Darby is insane and Black looks great. Another awesome stream. Thank you, Indigo. Always love seeing Indigo in the chat. Tony Brown with a $4.99 super chat. JD, I'll bet that opening song would sound so good on my Denon 8K 9.2 surround sound receiver with Klipsch speakers. I crank that motherfucker up.
Nah, it's not bad.
There you go, bro.
Denon is fucking top tier for home receivers, man. Top fucking tier.
I had no idea. No idea. I need a good surround sound. I need a good surround sound for my living room. Do you recommend Denon?
If you're getting surround sound, I definitely recommend Denon. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Stephen Vandelli, once again, brother, thank you for the unbelievable $500 donation, man. We'll read his again if you guys missed it. Please make sure Jesse gets half of this. In a world where there's enough negativity, why not share some positivity? Love you too, even if we may not agree on everything. LOL, you two are truly the best duo on the IWC. Thank you so much, Vandelli. I really don't know what to say, brother.
Now. For money like that, we agree on everything.
Yeah.
Abaddon is fucking great.
Abaddon is going to be my new favorite pro wrestler, bro. I think she's coming along swimmingly.
I should make her my Twitter profile.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to make her my background on my iPhone.
There you go.
There you go. Just for Vandelli. Thank you, brother. Gavin Deeth with a Australian $10 super chat. The feeling I get from Daniel Bryan is that he will end his career in Ring of Honor like a football player that goes back to their first club after they made their millions. A symmetrical end to his career. I don't think so, bro.
No, Daniel Bryan is in a unique position that most wrestlers will never find themselves in. Basically, Daniel Bryan can do what he wants when he wants. He can go wherever he wants. He can get whatever schedule he wants. He can make whatever money he wants to make. He is literally calling the fucking shots in regards to his career. He's earned it in all of the years and all of the fucking pain and suffering he put his body through. So him and his family are gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do in pro wrestling, dude. That's
let me ask you, how likely is it that Bryan wants to work in New Japan? Very likely, right?
Very likely.
Do you see WWE ever bending the knee on that and giving Bryan some spots to work New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Normally, anybody else, no. But like I just said, Daniel Bryan, if Daniel Bryan went to Vince and said, look, I was going to go over there and sign with Tony Khan because he's going to let me work New Japan.
Yep.
So if you let me fucking work it and let me work here, I'll fucking stay here and close out my career here. Daniel Bryan can do whatever the fuck he wants, dude.
Yeah,
and he'll just be in New Japan, hanging out with fucking Kairi Sane over there. And please, dude, yes.
And if Vince wants to keep Bryan, then you give that man whatever the fuck he wants. It's called right now. What Bryan has is leverage, folks. I don't think he's going to end up in AEW. I think he's using AEW with leverage in mind.
Could be. But these rumors out there, and he comes back to Vince. I mean, and again, it's not. Everybody knows Daniel Bryan is not about the money. Vince can offer him $20-30 million. It's not about the money. He wants to do what he wants to do, and he wants to be able to have some kind of creative freedom.
Yeah, that's what's most important to Bryan. That's what's always been most important to him. I mean, that's why he's on the fucking creative team, or he was on the creative team for SmackDown.
Yep. If he wants to go to Ring of Honor and do some dates, that's just what he's gonna do. What's Vince gonna say? No. Go over there with them to see how you end up. A superstar. What the fuck you think is gonna happen to him? So Vince is gonna give him whatever the fuck he wants. If Roman Reigns' contract ended tomorrow and he said, Vince, unless I get to work wherever I want, when I want, and still make my dates here, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. You see Roman in AEW next week. Whatever, dude. Whatever the fuck you want.
Right at the top of the fucking card in the program with the world champion.
Yep, and be back on the Raw the next week. I mean, it look certain guys, and I get the comment that was made earlier. I mean, it does sound hypocritical on the surface, but Christian Cage is not Daniel Bryan, bro.
No, not even close. Lord Zero of House Foxgiven with a $5 super chat. I never get to watch you guys live, so just wanted to show some support, hoping to see Andrade versus Penta at All Out. You may be getting it, Lord. For sure. Take my money. Or either Andrade versus Penta, Andrade versus Pac. I don't give a fuck. Give them whatever they want. At All Out. Let them do what they gotta do. Take my money. I appreciate you watching us live, man. I know a lot of people don't watch live and they just catch up later in the evening or the next day, but Always love to have you here, man. Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. I think Mox wins. Archer doesn't work for New Japan, and New Japan says you have to be contracted to get the title. Plus, Archer has never beaten Moxley. Well, that's what Mr. Cake says. We'll see what happens next week. He also says with a $10 super chat, Mamma Mia, Malachi Black is what AEW needed. Also, as a side note, what AEW needs is Black Mass. You effing die. No one has ever kicked out of it, but make it the most devastating finisher ever. He also says Hangman right now is reminding me of Jeff Hardy at Armageddon 2008. When he gets the title, it will be magical. I would have him lose the 5-on-5.
Then how do you get him to the match? Now you got to get him to the match without looking like fucking assholes.
I don't know. But, yes, the Black Mass should be one of those moves that nobody kicks out of, yes. Should be AEW's version of the RKO.
Yeah.
Francis Loop with a $5 super chat. AEW can always give Daniel Bryan the Matt Cardona deal, do 5 dream matches, and then he can leave or go back to WWE if he doesn't want to work full time.
Bryan does what Bryan fucking wants to, bro.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Mr. Cake with another $5 super chat. He says about Adam Page, I would have Adam Page get serious again because he's been eating ice cream all year, and have him win at Full Gear. Crowd loves Page, to hell and back. Well, like Jesse said, Cake, how do you get him there? You can't have him go into a depressing funk. He's been through that stage already. While he was drinking.
Yeah, and again, I think this 5-on-5 might be another catalyst to help. Because Hangman is on, but he's not all the way on. We got to get him turned all the way the fuck on and pissed off and get him into this fucking feud and into this match.
Yeah.
So that could be a catalyst, this 5-on-5.
Tyler Cutchin with a $2 super chat. Kenny doesn't have to be pinned in the 5-on-5 to lose. Yes, we understand that.
If it's an elimination match, yes, he does.
Well, he could get counted out.
Well, yeah, but he has to lose. So, yeah.
He's already made... Well, he doesn't want to lose. That's the fucking thing. If he loses, then it gives his team the greater chance of losing. And if the Elite loses, then Page gets the title shot. They don't want that. And then the Dark Order gets a tag team title shot against the Bucks. They don't want that either. So even going to those extents, you're only harming yourself.
Yeah. I don't think anybody gives a shit about Dark Order not getting a tag title shot. You know, everybody's just trying to see how they're going to get Hangman and Kenny to All Out.
Yeah.
And so let's see. It's interesting. And this is what I like about it. It's unpredictable. Even the predictable is unpredictable. I mean, it's interesting right now. Let's see where they go.
CC Steven with the $5 super chat. Hi, JD. Once again, I disagree with Jesse. The Malachi Black promo was not boring and made total sense. He's basically calling Cody a washed up has-been and dead.
To me, it's boring in the sense of this crowd is hot.
Yeah.
You know, live crowds are back. You know, emotions are up. Great matches been going down, and now we get, you know, Black sitting there and talking low tone, low intensity for a good 2 minutes straight. You know, so then I'm just like, okay, for me, it's kind of just bringing the level of intensity down a little bit. Now, granted, that was probably the goal, because they were going to drop the lights, bring them back out, and then jump that level back up with the in-ring action. But I don't mean to say like he bores me with his promos, but for me, it was like my level of excitement was up here. Like, now we get fucking, you know, Malachi, let's get to it. And he starts talking, okay? And then talking. And then talking. And then talking. I'm like, would you fucking do something? You know, that's what I mean by bored. I mean, the story made sense. Everything he's doing is fucking great. Don't mind me. I was just bored because I wanted more action out of that thing.
Mr. Cake with a $2 super chat. Did you notice Jericho was called the one and only? I did not.
I did not.
Ricochet will be in AEW eventually, but no, I did not. The Gary Sphere $5 super chat. Pac versus Bryan is the first program I would go with. All out dream match. Hey, a guy can hope, right? Bro, anybody against Pac, take my fucking money.
Yep, can't go wrong there.
Mr. Cake with another $2 super chat. The J in JD stands for Joshi. Cheers. Mint Bailey. Are you offering me Bailey coffee liqueur? Mint? Or are you talking about Bailey? I don't know. Shout out to me. I mean, yeah, me too. Shout out to Pamela, man. Out 9 months. That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Raging Girl Gammo to $4.99 super chat. JD seriously needs to get Joshi's or give Joshi's credit. It's really disappointing. Listen.
Oh God.
Get her out of here. Somebody in the fucking venue, man. Please. I'm here by myself tonight. We're fucking closed, okay?
That's nothing. I saw her next super chat. I'm running for this one.
Shadow Maniac with a $10 super chat. Thanks for not ripping me a new one in front of all these goons. I understand what you guys were saying. Some wrestlers are worth more than others. I just like the ranking system. Much love, JD and Jesse. Shadow Maniac 78. Nah, listen, man. No hard feelings, brother. I know you're a regular here. I don't shit on my regulars, even though some people like to say that I do. But that's the way we feel about it. And I like the ranking system as well. I do. But with a guy like Bryan, you ain't putting Bryan through the ranking system, bro. You're not. Bryan goes right to the top. Raging Girl Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. She says, love you, Jesse.
Thank you so much. Love right back at you.
Sixers 205 with a $9.99 super chat. Not sure why you got so many haters. Your stuff is great. Keep up the great work. I don't know either, Sixers. A lot of irrelevant fucking cretins out there, man. I don't know what to tell you. Raging Girl Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. I don't appreciate you talking about Charlotte. All right, that's it. Get her out of there. Hologram, get her out of here, bro. Somebody's got to fucking just toss her. You know how Will Smith always befriended Jazzy Jeff on Fresh Prince, man, and Uncle Phil threw Jazzy Jeff out of the fucking the mansion. That's it. That's what we got to do to fucking Rage. Come on, get her out of here. Unreal. I don't appreciate you talking about Charlotte. I don't appreciate you talking about Charlotte Flair, period. Captain Solo, $2 super chat. Looking forward to any future PS5 games, JD. Not really.
I am.
I'm looking forward to the Witch Queen, Destiny.
Oh, no, I'm tired of fucking Destiny, man. They just reskinning the same fucking game every season.
They are.
They just reskinning the same game, but they need to just rip it and start over, dude.
God of War, if I was to answer your question, Solo. The new God of War. Anyway, guys, you know what time it is, man. Pilot's coming on. We're going to get out of here. I got to get some sleep. I'm heading back home in the morning. I'll be back in the home office for Friday. Friday Night SmackDown, going to be a big show. Francisco Coronado at $5 super chat. Do you think Cody will ever be AEW World Champion again, and how would you get him there? Thanks for the great review, JD. Cody Rhodes is not going to be challenging for the world title again, Francisco.
No.
It's over. If anything we know about Cody Rhodes is that he's sticking to his guns on this. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, and two things with that. A, they have that stipulation is there. It's never going away. But two, Cody's at the tail end of his career. And they have plenty of guys that deserves a world title run rather than Cody just trying to make himself look good. So. Yep.
Anyway, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We got over 800 likes, so I appreciate you guys, man. Let's try for 1,000. I know you guys are going to be watching this after it publishes to YouTube, so continue to hit that thumbs up. Follow us on social media at JDfromNY206. If you guys want to follow Jesse, his ad is on the screen there. Go check him out on Twitter. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. We got Monday Night Raw, NXT. That Karrion Kross Samoa Joe situation. Interesting stuff going into their takeover. SummerSlam weekend. And if you go on the homepage, you'll see Off the Script episode 382 as well. Waiting for you there if you missed it on Saturday. And go get your SummerScam t-shirts, man. SummerScam is now available on bonfire.com. They will not be available after the summer is over. So make sure you guys go and continue to support through Bonfire. Mr. Cake, I'm offering a mint liqueur to you and Jesse. Thank you so much, Mr. Cake. With another $2 super chat. Anything mint is right up my alley. All right, guys, we're getting in the Mustang. Windows are down. It's fucking hot. I can't stand it. I got my cold beverage, but I need 2 things from you guys right now. Number 1, I need those guitar emojis in the chat. And number 2, that music you're listening to, the sweet sounds of Pilot. I need that music on max. I'll see you guys on Friday night live. SmackDown, fans in attendance. It's going to be a big one. I'll see you guys later.